A lecherous princess sought the most handsome man in the kingdom to be her husband, but the chancellor whom she had chosen would rather kneel in the pouring rain as punishment than marry her. His refusal enraged the princess instantly. Just as she stepped out of her chamber to beat the chancellor, a bolt of lightning struck her precisely. At the same time, in the 21st century, a female student met with an accident while walking. She should have died, but the god of death took her to ancient times. The god of death told her she could be revived in the princess's body, on the condition that she ensure the chancellor lived safely for 15 years. To help her complete the mission, the god of death left her 5 pearls each capable of making the god of death fulfill one of her wishes. However, as soon as the princess woke up, her maid rushed into the chamber in a panic. It turned out that the emperor, wanting to avenge his daughter, was going to execute the chancellor in public. Determined to meet the god of death's requirement, the princess ran straight to the execution ground, only to accidentally bump into a passing general. She was in a hurry to save the chancellor, but the general told her the execution ground was far too distant. If she only ran, the chancellor would likely be dead by the time she arrived. Helpless, the princess begged the general to fly her there. At first, the general refused, but when the princess offered to pay him, he immediately embraced her and flew toward the execution ground. They arrived just in time to save the chancellor. The emperor was overjoyed to see his daughter alive, but the princess begged him not to kill the chancellor, and promised the chancellor she would never force him to marry her. Later, as the princess was daydreaming about enjoying her life in the palace, she found the general still waiting at her door, asking for the payment she had promised. It turned out that the general guarded the kingdom's borders, but the emperor, fearing the general's growing power might lead to rebellion, often withheld military funds, leaving the army short of food. The general had come to the capital specifically to ask the emperor for the funds. The princess knew full well the emperor would refuse, so she proposed a deal. If the general agreed to marry her, she would persuade the emperor to resolve the military fund issue. This offer humiliated the general, who accused the princess of being shameless. Over the next few days, however, the general sought help from numerous officials, but none were willing to assist him. Then, a letter arrived from the general's father, informing him that many soldiers in the army had already starved to death. If the general failed to bring back the funds this time, the army might have to disband. Desperate, the general rushed into the princess's chamber. Under the princess's teasing, the shy general took off his clothes and knelt before her, a sight that excited the princess, who had never been in love before. Just as she reached out to touch his abdominal muscles, the emperor suddenly arrived.